Good morning. Hey, I just want to follow up a little bit on the theme from yesterday, slightly, and then a couple other things want to pepper in there. It is cold this morning. It's like 40 friggin' degrees here. Just a couple things, because the point of it really was, without me saying it, you should extrapolate it from what I was saying, but it's just, what gets me is just the lies. Is that we're constantly being lied to. And I'm going to give you an example. When it comes to this, climate stuff and whatnot. When I was a kid in the 70s, and you can look this up, there's Time magazine articles like on the cover, and the teachers were scared and they were warning us about this, and I'm having a lot of thoughts cram into my brain. I can't get them all out of my mouth fast enough. But it was an ice age. We were going into an ice age. Oil was going to be depleted by the end of the 1980s, and we were all going to be dead from starvation by the year 2000. Well, that didn't happen, right? And the point there is that they tell us these things, they frighten us, and what's the result of that? Well, the result of that manipulation, that emotional thing, the fear, that puts the money in people's pocket. It enables them to overregulate us and come up with all these things that take money out of your pocket. And also there's companies that prey upon our fears, obviously, and there's products. And then there's these, it's all bullshit. And, we have to do this now, this has to happen now because this is our thing. And then it turns out that that's not the thing and it never happens. Well, what about all the stuff that we were forced to do and all the money that was taken from us and all the new regulations and the way we have to live and all these things that were predicated on a lie? That's what I'm always, this is what, I guess I just have to spell it out for you because some of you don't get it. But that's the point, all right? Now, that didn't happen. And keep in mind that Inconvenient Pack of Lie movie thing that Al Gore put out there that I want to point out, they were telling us at that time, 5 years ago, we'd be treading water right now. All of their predictions never come true. Yet, somehow, many of you still believe what they're telling us over and over and over again. And you want to make fun of and goof on people like me who are speaking the way I am right now. I'm not the one that's wrong. I'm not making the crazy predictions. I'm pointing out to you, they're telling us this, and they've told us this in the past, and it's always bullshit. So smarten up. There's another thing like this misnomer about fossil fuels. Which when you're a kid you learn, at least I did, in earth science in grade school. That's that's what's left over from all the dinosaurs that walked the earth. Which would make you think there's a finite amount there, so we would have to run out of it. Right? You would think logically that makes sense. Well, yeah, logically, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because the fact of the matter is, and I'm no expert, all right, but what I do know, and if you look into this, there are areas where, of course, we have new technology because we have fracking and shale and all these things to extrapolate oil that was harder to get at earlier on. But there are other areas that we thought were depleted that now have oil again. Now, I also want to point something out here. This is not, you should not be listening to me and accepting what I'm telling you as fact or reality and base your whole life upon it or anything. All this I'm supposed to do, or anybody else that you listen to, all they're supposed to be doing really is kind of like turning a gear in your brain, all right? So if you get interested in something that I, myself, or somebody else says, and you're like, oh, I never heard that before, well, look into that. Because accepting what other people are telling you is not you learning. You learning is, oh, that's interesting. And getting on the internet, because that's our modern encyclopedia today. You know, hit Wikipedia, which we know isn't perfect. Anybody can edit that, whatever. But it's a good place to start. There's a lot of links that they'll highlight. Excuse me. On a Wikipedia page that you can click. You get it. Read different sides. I pointed this out before, said it yesterday. So research it. Now, there's an article, I think it's from the 1950s. There's multiples. I will get crazy. I'll go down the rabbit hole on things and read peer-reviewed scientific papers. And as I'm reading them, if I get to a point that I don't understand, then I'll research that so I understand it. Then I can go back to the original article. But there were these Russian, it came out of Russia, I believe, these Russian scientists who have this theory that oil is created naturally in the inner workings of the earth, and we don't really understand what that is. We don't know where that's coming from. That makes more sense to me. Now, we know more about other planets than we do about our own oceans, like what's going on in the deepest crevices under the oceans on our planet, or what's going on inside the earth. We don't know what's going on. We have theories and ideas. We know some things, but what we know is very little. So I'm just suggesting that maybe it's something you should look into, because ignorance is a tool used by those who want to manipulate your mind to keep you a serf. Okay? That's what it is. Look, I got this whole thing about the way I've been living my life. It could backfire at any given moment, but so far so good. I'm living this existence on my own terms. I've always done it, pretty much always worked for myself. Work when I need to. Try to do what I can, you know. I don't participate in the system that much. I'm involved in the system as much as I need to be to exist in this current time frame that I'm living in, right, with the rest of you. So I'm just saying that being aware of all these things, you don't have to get bummed out by it. Okay, if you're one of those people, you're so emotional, you don't want to pay attention to anything or learn anything new because it bums you out, you need to toughen up a little bit. Toughen up enough to where you can read things and look into things that emotionally might bum you out, but you have to do it just to give yourself a different perspective and outlook on this life that you have, which in this existence is finite. I don't believe we ever really die. I believe we're pure light beings. We're currently inhabiting our bodies. I think we could shoot off when we're released. When this body dies, we're released to go off to the next thing. That could mean you're inhabiting a body on another planet somewhere, you know, going to another dimension. Who the hell knows, right? We don't have those answers. But I don't believe we ever die, which is one of the reasons why none of this stuff bothers me. Nothing bothers me. It's, you know, you're going to pass on. Passing on is moving on to the next thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's nothing to be feared. It only sucks for the people that love you and care about you and then miss you, right? But even that, it goes back to that overly emotional thing. Like there's people who've died recently in my life. It's a bummer, but I'm not going to sit here all the time and be bummed out about it. I'm genuinely happy that they're gone in a way, because I believe they're in a better place now than all the bullshit that's going on here. Like, the people who are truly living, by the way, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, are the people who are getting out into the world and hiking and seeing the world and the oceans and meeting different people and all that stuff. That's like really living, you know. If all you're doing, there's a lot of slow moving people around here. if all you're doing is, spending money, paying bills, working, dealing with a bunch of stress, that's not living. So, that's all. I think that's it. The wealth thing is, I had this idea in my mind before I started driving over here this morning. Whoops. Let me get that parking spot. And what it is this. I think I can fit in here. I don't know. Maybe not. I can't fit in there. The oil thing, right? Like we're not running out of it. There's still plenty, which is crazy. I'm telling you. I believed everything they told me as a little kid, hook, line, and sinker. Don't go anywhere. All right. As I was saying, there are people out there running the show who, their sole purpose is to keep us upset, angry, off balance, divided, all these things. And one of the things that they use with that is wealth. Some of you are convinced that wealth is finite, that people who have more of it are like hoarding it to the point where the people who don't have it can't get it. That's nonsense. It's total nonsense. They keep printing money. Why are they printing money? Because we keep creating our own wealth. New wealth is created all the time. You know how you create wealth? A good idea and effort. Success never rewards the wrong person. So there's always money being created, wealth being created. That's what we do. So you gotta not. I'm not talking down to you people. All right. This is for the people who don't get it. A lot of you are sitting here shaking your head, and you're gonna be awesome in the comments. Be like, I agree with you what you said 100%. Don't do this for that. Not doing this for the accolades. Doing this to turn the gear in other people's minds. So we're being lied to all the time. There's a lot of BS out there, and I want you all to wake up to it, because you can live a better life if you understand what's going on, and you can check out of it. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to participate in the BS. When the virus crap happened, I did not participate. All right, I never got a shot, nothing. Never wore a mask, nothing, until my mom was in the ICU and I had to wear it to force me to put on a hazmat suit. So, yeah. Anyhow, that's it. All right? Don't believe everything everybody tells you. I'm going. I got to go to work. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Be good to one another.